I hate being a dad. Those were the words that I spoke a week after bringing my son home. I had no idea that my life would change so much. And so what I wanted to do was, any new fathers, I wanted to give them something to let them know that you are not alone. I wanted to show that everyone goes through what you're about to go through, which is somewhat hell, but it's okay. These are some tips that I use that really helped me to become a better husband, a better father, and a better friend. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Tip number one is life is going to change a lot. I realized this when I tried to put the car seat in for the first time. It was so hard for me to get this dang on car seat in here and to get it in right. I mean, I struggled. This was the first time where I knew we need to get a van, like ASAP. Understand that it takes extra time to do everything now, okay? It will take extra time to get the baby ready, to get the diaper bag ready. It's gonna take extra time to get everything ready. I want you to give yourself at least an extra 30 minutes, only because you want to make sure that you don't forget anything. If you're going out and for long periods of time, you need to pack extra bottles, pack extra diapers. You need to get the diaper bag together either the night before, because you will forget something. And when you're out, you don't want to have to go to the store and go buy whatever it is that you're missing. Also, you don't want to accidentally forget food, because that baby will get hungry. Tip number two. This is a big one. You need to give yourself grace in this process. When the baby first comes home, you're gonna be so scared. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, am I gonna break this baby? And then when you do something wrong, you're like, I'm such a bad parent. But I'm telling you, give yourself grace, give grace to your spouse, give grace to the baby, because you gotta think about this. You're trying to figure out how to become a father. The mother is trying to figure out how to be a good mother. And the baby don't know what the heck just happened. It went from a warm, wet situation to now a dry, cold situation. Imagine what you would feel like if that happened to you. Tip number three, you will get less sleep. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there to you. You will get less sleep. Remember when you were in high school or in college, when the night before you're sitting up there, you're like, man, I gotta study for this test. And you pull one of those all-nighters, and then you drag yourself into the classroom, and you tired, but you get an A on that test. It's exactly the way that it is. You're gonna be 3.5 times tired, and guess what? You may not get an A, may get an F every single time. But again, go back to number two, give yourself grace. But I do want you to understand that you will lose a lot of sleep. Number four, enjoy it all. The good, the bad, the ugly, the blowouts. I'm sure I'll make a video about blowouts. I want you to enjoy the whole process. Friends and family kept telling me to enjoy the whole process because it goes by fast, and it really does go by fast. And every time I look at him, I say to myself, man, you won't be this little again, right? I can go through the process again with a new baby, but you in particular will never be this small again. And so I just try to enjoy everything about the process, even if it's good or bad. Number five, love on your spouse. It is very important that you understand that you both don't get so lost in the child that you neglect each other. Whether you're a husband or whether you are a wife looking at this video, I want you to not focus so much on the child and neglect your spouse. That's the worst thing that you can do. So make sure that you're continuing to love on your spouse the way that they want to be loved. Number six, as a father, this was so new to me. And a lot of times, my wife found herself doing a lot of the things in the house. So what I would encourage you to do is take on as much responsibility as possible. You gotta remember, if your wife is breastfeeding, chances are she's so tired and she has a baby connected to her all day. The baby wants to be next to her because she smells like the breast milk. So what you can do as a husband is take on as much responsibility as possible. Vacuum, wash dishes, feed the baby, cook, change diapers. Make sure you're doing as much as you can to alleviate any stress from the wife. Tip number 7, you are both a team. I want you to grasp this. You are a team. Whenever it comes to you both needing to do something, or maybe you need to, maybe as a father, you need to sacrifice and just bite down and just do whatever it is that needs to be done. Don't keep tally marks and saying, well, I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. No. Make sure that you understand that you are both a team. My father-in-law told me this, and it is something that I will always keep in the back of my mind, that we are a team. We are wearing the same jersey at all times. No person is doing more than the other person, and if they are, it's for the betterment of the team. I think that's the word that I want to use, but I'm going to use it anyway. It's for the betterment of the team. So at the end of the day, you both are a team. Number 8, I want you to, as a husband, I want you to understand that your wife, when she was pregnant, built up a lot of hormones and different chemicals in her body in order to take care of the baby. Now, once that baby is delivered, her body is now trying to go back to normal, and those hormone levels are dropping fast. So she may be a little bit more emotional, and her body is going through all these different changes. And as a husband, you just need to be there for her. You don't need to understand the changes. You just need to be sensitive to the changes that her body is going through. Don't get upset at yourself and say, well, why can't I make her happy? Understand that her body may be going through a change. She may be crying, and just a little extra tip to put in there. Make sure that you are watching your wife to make sure that she's not showing signs of any type of postpartum depression, okay? That is something that is very, very serious. So make sure that if you see her sleeping a lot, she's very moody. She seems to, one of the biggest things is she's very detached from the baby. You need to make sure that you talk to her doctor and get her the proper help. But I want you to understand that it's not something to be scared of. Just make sure that you go get her help. Be sensitive to the changes in her body and look for any signs of any type of postpartum depression. Those are my 8 tips on being a new father. I tell you what, when I first started this process, I hated being a father. Now I wake up, my son, he has this smile on his face, being present, sharing all of these moments, like when he first started holding his head up on his own, he's smiling, to see him discovering himself. He's figuring out that he has hands. Recently, he's figured out that he has a voice. So he's like talking and giggling and just being so like such a fun baby. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll continue to make these videos for new fathers to let you know that in everything that you're about to go through or that you are going through, you are not alone. Hey, from the famous words of a philosopher, my best friend, Anthony Brown, love, peace, chicken grease, and I'll see y'all next time.
I had to bury my fear of man cause my God reigns, yeah. And everything on God cause he created all things, I mean, yeah.